You're watching BBN Tonight on your official UK sports station, LEX 18. Presented by Central Bank, the official bank of UK Athletics.
Welcome back to BBN Tonight. We'll get back into some basketball news now.
Yeah, with so much going on with John Calipari's team, we decided to bring in the expert, the voice of the Wildcats, Tom Leach, who joins us now. And Tom, Coach Cal has been making a lot of moves this offseason, especially with the transfer portal. Severe Wheeler officially became a Wildcat today and coming to Kentucky after 2 seasons in Georgia. What do you think of this addition for the Wildcats?
Great pickup. I know all the focus, or not all, but a chunk of the focus is going to be on his three-point shooting number, and you'd certainly like that to improve. But we know he led the SEC in assists last season. Here's another number that I haven't seen mentioned anywhere. I looked up his stats at Ken Pomeroy's site, kenpom.com. Wheeler last year at Georgia shot just under 48% on 2-point shots. And Kentucky struggled in that area. And in fact, 47.6 for Wheeler was better than Askew, Boston, Allen, or Mintz. The previous year, as a freshman, he shot 52% on 2-point shots. That was better than Quickly, Maxey, or Hagan.
That's awesome,
Wow.
Getting those numbers down. And Kentucky's other incoming point guard, Tai Tay Washington, he signed with the Cats last week. Tom, what are your thoughts on him, especially how he'll fit in alongside Wheeler?
You know, that we've seen Cal play even as far back as his first year with Wall and Bledsoe, not be afraid to put 2 point guards together or even 3. So I'm sure that was part of the sales pitch to Wheeler once Washington had already committed. If I was making a morning line on starting backcourt guys, and I would include the 3 spots, so it could be as many as 3 guards, depending on what the lineup would look like. Frequently has been. I would probably make Tai Tai the morning line favorite to be a starter. And then Wheeler, Frederick, Grady, Allen, maybe Mintz would all be about the same as far as the second choice on that morning line. And I think the separator, like always, is probably going to be defense. But most of those guys, Wheeler's numbers aren't great at 3, but everybody else has very good 3-point shooting numbers. So I think ultimately the better defenders will probably be in that starting group that always interests fans.
Tom, let's talk about the roster now as a whole, because John Calipari has never had a roster quite like this one. 4 transfers, 3 returners from last season, and 3 true freshmen. Part of the problem last season was getting the roster to work together cohesively. So do you see how these specific players coming together this season?
I don't worry about that much at all, really, because John Calipari has excelled at being able to manage the roster turnover. Now he's going to get to do it with more experienced players. Last year, I think, is an outlier because of the pandemic and all the changes that brought to their program and the isolation for players. They couldn't practice as much or bond as well. And all of that, I think, for the most part, is changing already. And by the time they're rolling into basketball season, hopefully, for our society, we've been able to put that behind us, and it's more normal. And if that's the case, I think, managing the turnover in a roster is right in Cal's wheelhouse.
And former Kentucky coach Eddie Sutton was posthumously enshrined in the Naismith Memorial Hall of Fame over the weekend. Sutton won over 800 games, made 3 Final Fours, and was a 2-time Associated Press Coach of the Year. John Calipari took part in his introduction this weekend. Tom, listen into this.
He coached ball everywhere. College of Southern Idaho. Some of you forget that. I don't. From Creighton to Arkansas to Kentucky and then Oak State. Think about what he did for each of those programs, where he took them. This is so well deserved, and I'm so happy, and I'm honored that the family asked me to stand with him and show my respect, because unlimited my respect for Coach Eddie Sutton, Hall of Famer.
Coach Sutton won 90 games during his time here. He made 3 NCAA tournaments, won the SEC in '86. He was inducted into the College Basketball Hall of Fame in 2011. Tom, this was overdue, don't you think?
Absolutely. That made me so happy when that news came down. And you saw former players from here tweeting out very complimentary things. Oscar Combs also got to be close to Eddie. And Eddie was a great guy to work with. We know about the personal demons that he fought here and in other places, but there was a lot of good in Eddie Sutton, and one heck of a basketball coach. And he has deserved to be in that Hall of Fame long before getting there, but he finally is where he should be.
Tom, thanks so much. Great to see you again. We'll talk to you next week.
Sure.
All right, it was a life-changing weekend for 93 Kentucky athletes.
That's right, and we've got more BBN Tonight for you after the break.